Hi everyone and welcome to my channel. Today's video is going to be all about my favorite makeup brushes. So makeup brushes are super important. You know, your makeup products can be great and you can do makeup looks without brushes or tools or whatever, but I feel like the tools just really amplify the experience of putting on makeup. I personally don't really like to just use my hands or fingers to put on makeup. I don't really like the feeling of like foundation all over my hands, so I do prefer to use sponges and brushes. So I will be mentioning my favorite sponge as well as some really awesome brushes, so let's get into it. All right, so first let's jump into some face brushes, and one that I really want to mention because I've been using this brush pretty much exclusively for my bronzer for about 2.5 years now almost. So it is this one from Kiko Milano, and it is their 08 brush. So I just washed mine and I kind of got it a little bit deformed up here, but I think you can get the idea of what it looks like. So it's a pretty domed brush. It's rather large, so it's for more of that kind of like blown out bronzer look, but the brush itself is just made so well. So the bristles are really soft. When you're actually blending it in, the pointed edge can allow you to put like the product specifically where you want it, but then it does give you that blown out look where the other bristles land, and I really like that. I feel like it looks very diffused. Sometimes bronzer looks a little bit too much on my skin. I'm very fair, as you can probably tell. I almost like match my shirt right now. Yeah, so I actually just find that this brush is very helpful for applying bronzer, and I would definitely recommend it to anyone looking for a good bronzer brush. Next is going to be blush, and this brush from Real Techniques, this is their 400 brush, is amazing. It's also just called their blush brush if you're wondering. So I really liked like the diffused look. I will say that I'm getting more into like a smaller blush brush, and so I actually ordered the Katie Jane Hughes brushes yesterday, so I'm very excited for those to come in. But in the meantime, I will still be using this. I find that when a blush is like too pigmented or something, a brush like this can really help because you can tap into it and then tap it into your hand, and it just can put a little bit of pigment on. You can also build it up really well, and this brush is just a great quality. The bristles, of course, are nice. Real Techniques is an amazing brush company, so I would definitely recommend this. They also have a set. I'll mention that in a second. Like, I have another brush that would come in that set too, but yeah, you can buy this alone or in a set. The next blush brush is from Sigma. This is their F15 brush, and I actually found this at TJ Maxx. It is a dual fiber brush, and it's great for cream and liquid blushes. I find that this is just amazing at blending those out. I also have one of theirs that I use for bronzer, and I guess I'll be like a little honorable mention. It's not my favorite because I kind of just wish I had two of this one, but I do have this one as well. It's the F55. And it's a little bit more flat, so if you're looking for something more like that, it is a great brush. I just prefer the shape of this one better. But this brush is awesome for liquid and cream blushes. Next, we've got a brush that I honestly don't use every time that I do my makeup, but there are certain situations when I use my concealer and I want a brush to use with it, and that is I need more coverage. So I have really bad allergies, and so if I'm having really bad purple allergy, like bags under my eyes, I guess, when I'm having a sinus infection, I usually need like a little bit more concealer or want a little bit more concealer. So I use this brush in that instance to give me more coverage. And this is the one from Rare Beauty. It's just their concealer brush. So the bristles are actually pretty stiff, but I find that it gets into the little eye socket here really well, and you can just press out concealer, and it's honestly amazing. I've never tried their foundation brush. I prefer to use a sponge for foundation, but this concealer brush is amazing. And I mentioned that you could get this in a set, and it comes with one of these as well. So this is the Real Techniques setting brush. I have two of them. I just picked up this one the other day because I have had this for, honestly, I thought the Kiko brush might have been one in my collection for the longest, but I think I've had this for like 5 years at least, and I use it every single day for my highlight. So it's actually dirty because even though I just washed all my brushes, I used this one to get ready today. So it has a little bit of highlight in it now, but it is so amazing. I guess this is the old packaging or style of it, but you can get it the same exact brush. And you can actually get this in the same set with this blush brush with two other brushes for around $20. I bought both of them separately, so I have not tried the other two brushes in that set, but I do know it's available if you're looking into that. But this setting brush is amazing. But I picked up a second one of these brushes because I want to be able to use one for potentially like powder highlight and then a cream highlight, and not have to wash them every single day in between, you know, using different kind of cream or highlight products. And also because this would be a really great just setting brush too. I don't think I'll use it for that because I have another brush I'll show you in a second that I love for setting my face with powder, or I did just want to have two options to use with powder and cream or liquid highlight. All right, the setting brush that I mentioned is this one. So Allie Glines kept using this and I kept like pausing the video and like zooming in to find out which one it is. So this is the Nabla Precision Powder Brush, and the shape of it is so unique. It's more of a flat brush, but then it is a little bit tapered so you can get underneath the eyes really well to set, which is the #1 spot that I set on my face. But you can just use this to powder all over the face if you want. I don't really prefer like a big powder brush. I like a more glowy look like I have on in every video I've ever posted. But this is just a really great way to just be able to powder the areas that you want to, and it's just a really great shape. It is a little bit more expensive. It's over $20 and I did have to pay shipping for it because I wasn't ordering anything else, but I ordered this off of their website. Yeah, it is a little bit more expensive, but it's really great quality. All right, those are all the face brushes, so let's move into the eyes brushes, and we'll start out with the most affordable company, and I have several different things from them to talk about. So the company is Shop Miss A. Everything there is roughly around $1, but they do have this brush set that comes in the barrels that look like this, or they have the pink handles like this. I actually only still have 4 of them because I do have a lot of brushes, but these are some of my favorite brushes and they are really great quality. I found that the bristles didn't hold up as well after several washes as some of my other brushes, and specifically I'll share with you a good alternative to this brush set that is not much more expensive, but I do think the quality is like extremely better than this. But this is a really great starter set, or if you're just wanting some extra brushes to try out or something, or if you're trying to figure out what kind of like shapes and sizes of brushes that you like, this is a really great set. It comes with a case to set them in with the cup, and then it has the cup that goes on top and they like snap together. But yeah, these are really great brushes and I would recommend them if what I'm describing them as sounds good to you. But I also wanted to mention the sponge that I use and that I prefer is the one from Shop Miss A as well. So you can buy them in this 6-pack. They're $1.50 each, but it's a little bit cheaper if you get the 6-pack. And I currently have a lot of them. So I bought them like that because they do take a long time to get to you, and I like to switch my sponge out like roughly every month or 2. This is the comparison. I used this one today, but I did just wash it out. But this is it dry and then wet, so you can see the difference, and it's like super squishy. So it's obviously a little bit more firm here, but hopefully you could see like how squishy this is. But it is just amazing. It holds water really well, but not like too much where it's just gonna soak your face. But this helps me get the most gorgeous dewy look to the skin, and I really like this sponge, especially for the price. You can't beat it, but even if this were more expensive, it would still be amazing. So yeah, I really do love these sponges. But I also wanted to mention that Shop Miss A sells these little like egg holders, sponge holders, but you can set it on your vanity or your counter or anything, and it just helps the sponge to air out so that it doesn't get like moldy or gross or anything. So I wanted to mention those 3 things from Shop Miss A. The brush set that I think compares very well to the Shop Miss A one, but like really blows it out of the water, is this one from Colourpop. I think this is just like their standard brush set. I will try and link as much of this down below as I can if you're interested in this, but this comes in like a brush roll. I actually didn't keep any of the face brushes, to be honest with you. I'm very picky about face brushes. I've got the ones that I like, and I didn't really feel the need to keep the other ones, but I did keep all of these eye brushes, and I love this brush set because, I'm sorry some of these are a little bit dirty, I used them today, but they have so many different sizes. So they've got 2 kind of larger blending brushes, one that's kind of like a medium size, but it's more densely packed, and then they've got 2 smaller ones. So one that's like pretty densely packed here, and then one that's really fluffy. I love this shape brush. This is like my favorite brush because it's so perfect for getting on the outer corner. My eyes are a little bit smaller, and I really love those. They also have these 2 like flat shader brushes. This one's great if you want to do a cut crease or like any details up there, and this one's great for just like packing shades, cleaning up anything. But my favorite brush from this collection, aside from that small blending brush, is this one called the E18 brush. And it's like a flat shader brush, but it is a little bit domed on the top. So I hope you guys can see that shape pretty well, but I love using this to put shimmers on the lid. If I'm not using my finger, this is the brush that I'm reaching for, and it's just so good. Also, if you're interested, I'm not sure if they sell any of these separately, but that small blending brush is called the E19 brush. So yeah, those two are like my standouts from this selection, but this brush roll is amazing. I think it's like $30. I think I got it on sale. Colourpop always has a sale. I would definitely pick this one up over this one, but if you're on a budget, if these are, I think this one comes with 10, this one comes with a lot more than 10. I'm not sure how many, but it just kind of depends on what you're looking for. This one's obviously a better deal money-wise, but I think this one has a lot more value to it. So just kind of consider those two things and see what you'd be interested in. But yeah, that Colourpop set is like really a standout to me. So a brand in general that I have loved over the years, but there is one kind of caveat to it, is the brand Polished. This doesn't even have the logo on it anymore, but I know that's what this was from. It's from like a little 3-piece eye set. Polished is sold at TJ Maxx. Their brushes are amazing, specifically this one in the mint green. I use this as my inner corner highlight brush every single day. The only time I would ever use something else is if this had like a light purple on it or something and I wanted a more cream color or something. I would probably pick a different brush, but I do have some other brushes from their brush sets, but the one kind of caveat is that their blending brushes can wear out within a year. So it kind of depends on what you're interested in there. If you're just trying to try different shapes and sizes of brushes, then I do think that it's a good value. Also, this brush I've had for probably close to 2 years, if not 3 years. Honestly, I've had this for a long time. I got this in college at some point. I don't really know. But this, I think since it's so densely packed, you know, the bristles don't end up going like every which way and getting all messy when you wash it or anything. It's kept its shape very well, and it's never felt scratchy or anything, which I've mentioned earlier in this video that I have really bad allergies, and so I have to be careful with the brushes too that I'm using close to my eyes, because if they're scratchy at all, it will just trigger something in my eyes. They'll start watering. If I've already put my makeup on and I'm using a brush, I've probably already got my makeup on, and that's not what I want. The last brush that I have before we talk about the brush set is this one from Sonia Kashuk, and this is just a blending brush. I don't think it has, oh no, it doesn't have a name on it. Anyways, this is just one of their blending brushes. I will try and link below this brush if I can find it, but I have two of them. One's dirty, I used it today, and one's clean. But yeah, these are from Target, and they're great. They feel so expensive. Like the soft matte packaging here is just really nice, and then the actual like mechanics of it itself are really nice. They're put together very well. The brush is so soft. I've washed them several times each, and I think they're great. And lastly, if you're wanting to invest a little bit more in your brushes, kind of get a little bit more of a high quality brush that feels a little bit more weighted, feels a little bit nicer, it's a little bit more luxurious just, you know, using them. And I would recommend this set from Sigma. So this is their 7-piece eye set, and I got this around Christmas time. It was on sale, I think right after Black Friday actually is when I got this. But this comes with a really great amount of brushes of different sizes. The one thing is I wish it had one more blending brush that was a little bit smaller, but it comes with this larger blending brush, 2 flat shader brushes, an angled brush, a pencil brush, and then 2 brushes that are really great for eyeliner. So it has more of a pointy tip eyeliner brush and then an angled tip. So if you're interested to know any of the names of these, that will be linked below. They're just the 7-piece eye set. You can check them out there. But that is kind of like the overall look of all of them. But honestly, these are so nice. They feel so much more weighted than my other brushes, which that's something I've mentioned on a couple of these other ones. I like when the brush feels weighted. I feel like it feels more expensive. It just feels like a nicer quality brush. Like the materials that they use to make them just feel a little bit more high quality. And I find that these wash the best. Like their bristles go exactly back how they're supposed to. And I find that if you're looking for a little bit more of a high quality set, this is a really great place to look. But all right, you guys, that is it for my favorite brushes video. So this is actually almost my entire brush collection. This is what I've got left. And it's not to say that these are bad, but I have really gotten rid of a lot of brushes, especially recently. I've gotten rid of a ton of them. And yeah, I have these brushes because I think that they're the best. That's why out of some of the kind of like brush roller kits, I didn't keep all of them because I really truly feel like these are my best brushes. And like I mentioned, I did order the Spectrum and Katie Jane Hughes collection yesterday because looking at all of those, I know that they're going to be good quality because she wouldn't release anything that wasn't good quality. And I feel like that's going to be a really perfect addition to my collection because I am looking for some smaller face brushes than these giant ones. And I love having duplicates of my favorite eye brushes. And I can see that she's got several of the shapes that are my favorite. And I think that that's going to be a really great addition to my collection and also keep me from having to wash my brushes so often. So anyways, these are my favorite brushes. They're in my collection for a reason. I really think that they are the best brushes that I've come across, and I've tried many brushes. So anyways, if you have any questions about any of these, I will try and link them down below, but feel free to ask me in the comments. I respond to every comment. I don't think I've ever missed one, but I'd also love to know what your favorite brushes are. If you have any favorites that I didn't talk about today, I'd love to know about it. And if you enjoyed this video, please give it a thumbs up so that I know that you liked it. And subscribe to my channel if you want to see more videos from me in the future. And I'll see you in the next one. Bye.